The lights glow softly across the Ireland's Got Talent theater as the audience settles into their seats, chatting quietly while excitement builds in the air. The host steps forward with a warm smile and announces the next act, teasing that this performance is inspired by the most viewed auditions ever seen around the world, now reimagined through a poor Filipino story from Quezon City. From backstage, a thin teenage boy walks slowly into the spotlight. His name is Amir. His clothes are faded and slightly torn, his shoes mismatched, and his shoulders hunched with nervous tension. He bows deeply to the judges and audience, holding a small handmade instrument close to his chest as if it were his only treasure. The judges smile politely at first, not knowing what to expect. One judge leans forward slightly, curious. Another judge folds their hands together, studying him with gentle eyes. The audience murmurs softly, unsure what kind of act is coming. Amir introduces himself in a soft, trembling voice. He says he is from Quezon City in the Philippines. He explains that he grew up in extreme poverty, living in a tiny crowded home with his mother and younger siblings. He says his father left when he was very young, and since then his mother has worked day and night selling street food just to keep them alive. Sometimes they had no electricity. Sometimes they had no food. He says music became his escape from hunger, fear, and sadness. Amir explains that he could never afford music lessons or proper instruments. He says he learned by watching old videos on borrowed phones and listening to radio songs late at night. He built his own instrument using scrap wood, broken strings, and glue he found in trash bins. As he speaks, his voice shakes. One judge already looks emotional, blinking rapidly to hold back tears. Another judge nods slowly, deeply moved by his story. The audience grows quiet, fully focused now. The host asks Amir what he will perform today. Amir takes a deep breath and says he will sing a song about his life, his dreams, and his mother. He says he wants to prove that even the poorest dreams can shine on the biggest stage. The audience applauds gently, offering support. The judges smile warmly, encouraging him to begin. The stage lights dim slightly. A soft spotlight focuses on Amir. He steps back, closes his eyes, and begins to play a haunting melody on his handmade instrument. The sound is surprisingly rich and emotional. The audience leans forward in their seats. The judges exchange looks of surprise. No one expected such a beautiful tone from something that looks so simple and broken. Amir opens his mouth and begins to sing. His voice is soft at first, trembling slightly, but filled with raw emotion. The words speak of hunger, loneliness, and silent nights spent dreaming of a better life. The audience grows completely silent. You can hear people breathing. One judge places a hand over their heart, eyes already shining with tears. Another judge whispers, "Wow," under their breath, shaking their head in disbelief. As Amir continues, his voice grows stronger. He hits a high note perfectly, his voice soaring through the theater. The audience gasps in shock, then bursts into applause. The judges stand halfway from their seats, clapping in amazement. One judge's eyes widen in disbelief, mouth open in shock. Another judge wipes a tear from their cheek, overwhelmed. The music shifts into a faster, more dramatic rhythm. Amir's hands move quickly across the strings of his handmade instrument. He begins blending emotional singing with rhythmic beats, creating a powerful fusion of sound. His voice becomes louder, filled with pain and hope at the same time. The lyrics speak about never giving up, even when the world feels cruel and unfair. The audience begins clapping in rhythm, cheering him on. Some people stand up, unable to stay seated. The judges are now fully engaged. One judge is openly crying, wiping tears with a tissue. Another judge laughs through tears, shaking their head in disbelief at how powerful this poor boy's talent is. A third judge leans forward, hands clasped together, whispering, "This is unbelievable." Amir closes his eyes and pours his entire soul into the performance. His voice cracks slightly on one emotional line, making the moment even more real and painful. The audience gasps softly. One judge presses their lips together, tears streaming down their face. Another judge places a hand on their chest, visibly shaken. The music builds toward a dramatic climax. Amir raises his voice higher and higher, hitting notes that seem impossible. His body trembles from emotion and effort. Sweat forms on his forehead, shining under the stage lights. The audience is on their feet now, clapping and cheering loudly. The judges rise from their chairs, applauding with both hands raised. One judge points at Amir and shouts, "You are amazing." Through tears. Suddenly, one judge slams the golden buzzer-like button in excitement, even though it is not part of the rules. Confetti explodes from above, raining down on the stage. The crowd screams in shock and joy. Amir freezes for a moment, unable to believe what is happening. He drops to his knees, covering his face with his hands as he begins to cry uncontrollably. The music fades softly into the background. The judges rush to their feet, clapping, crying, and shouting his name. One judge is laughing through tears, shaking their head and saying, "This is insane." Another judge presses both hands together as if praying, eyes filled with emotion. The third judge wipes their face repeatedly, overwhelmed by what they just witnessed. Amir struggles to stand as the applause continues. Tears stream down his face as he bows again and again. He looks completely overwhelmed. The host runs onto the stage and gently hugs him. Amir breaks down completely, sobbing into the host's shoulder. The audience cheers even louder, chanting his name. One judge walks to the edge of the stage and speaks through tears. They say they have seen thousands of auditions but never something this pure and powerful. They say Amir's voice is not just talent, it is pain, hope, and truth. Another judge says Amir represents every poor child with a dream and that his performance touched their soul deeply. A third judge, still crying, says this is why they love this show and why talent matters more than money. The audience gives a massive standing ovation, cheering loudly. The camera cuts to Amir's mother in the crowd. She is crying uncontrollably, covering her face with her hands. The judges point to her and clap even harder. The host invites her to stand. She rises slowly, shaking with emotion. The audience cheers for her too. Amir looks into the crowd and sees his mother. He cries even harder. He falls to his knees again, reaching his hands out toward her. She pushes through the crowd and runs toward the stage. Security gently helps her up. She hugs Amir tightly. Both of them are crying uncontrollably. The audience is sobbing. Even some camera crew members are wiping their eyes. Amir whispers that he just wanted to make his mother proud. His mother kisses his forehead and tells him she is already proud of him, more than anything in the world. The judges are all standing now, some wiping tears, others smiling with joy. One judge says this moment will be remembered forever in the history of the show. The host steps forward and asks Amir what his dream is now. Amir takes a deep breath and says he wants to support his family, give his siblings a better life, and continue making music for people who are struggling. He says he wants to show the world that even the poorest dreams can become the most viewed moments on a big stage. The audience erupts into cheers again. The judges clap louder. One judge nods slowly, deeply moved. Another judge wipes tears and says Amir has already changed lives with just one performance. A third judge says they believe he will become a global star one day. The host raises Amir's hand into the air. Confetti continues to fall. The audience cheers wildly. Amir bows again and again, overwhelmed by love and support. He looks up at the judges with gratitude in his eyes and says thank you over and over. As Amir walks off the stage slowly with his mother, still holding his handmade instrument tightly, the applause continues. Backstage, he collapses onto a chair, covering his face with his hands, crying uncontrollably. A stage assistant brings him water. He drinks slowly, still shaking. His mother hugs him tightly again. He whispers that he never thought people would care about him like this. He says he feels like his life has just changed forever. His mother tells him this is only the beginning. The camera fades back to the judges' table. One judge says they are still shaking from what they saw. Another judge says they were scared for him emotionally because his story was so painful but also deeply inspiring. A third judge says they will never forget this audition as long as they live. The scene ends with a slow shot of the empty stage, still echoing with applause, while Amir's emotional performance lingers in everyone's hearts, proving that even the poorest dreams from Quezon City can become the most viewed and most unforgettable moments on Ireland's Got Talent.